So how long have you been sailing?
Oh, I don't know how to sail, actually.
You've never been sailing?
I have minimal experience. I had one race on Keuka Lake in the Finger Lakes of New York, and I got wrapped up like a cocoon in the spinnaker.
How did you place in the race?
We did place. I think we got second that time, maybe. Second or first. And yeah, we bought a Lightning 19-foot sailboat, 1972 Lippincott. Joined the Keuka Yacht Club so that I could learn how to sail, and then basically the first time we went out, we just realized there's a lot more we can do in a bigger boat. And we started watching YouTube channels.
I'm watching SV Davos.
Because we loved sailing. And before we knew it, we started talking about making bigger plans to explore the world with a big live-aboard ocean-worthy vessel. We've spent the past, 9 months maybe, researching, looking at boats, seeing our family members on land.
I think the interesting thing is you love to travel.
Yeah, always.
And I'm a homebody. So it's kind of nice because we get the best of both worlds. We get to be home, but we get to travel the world.
Yeah.
Did a little bit of backpacking, but it was so stressful all the time. You know, you're just living in a bag, you unpack, and you got to pack everything up, make sure you don't lose anything, forget anything, and it's just, you never feel organized or at home, I feel like, with a backpack.
It can be really freeing to, just sort of take off, but like you said, your sort of comforts of home are limited to a bag you can put on your back. And the other thing is we have 2 dogs. And they're part of our family. We don't get a lot of wind here on our special little paradise hill.
Yeah, we live on a hill. You can't see it, but behind you is a huge hill, and generally it blocks the wind. And all these trees, it's really a protected area.
Yeah.
We're on the eastern side. So if there's any kind of wind in here, that means there's a lot of wind on the lake, and it's a great day for sailing. But
you stole my punchline.
You could say it.
So what I was saying is that we don't get a lot of wind here on the hill. You can't tell.
Keep going. What's the punchline?
And so when it is windy, we look out and we're like, man, it would be a good day for sailing. Sure would be a good day for sailing. Honey, don't you think it'd be nice to sail today? Wow, look at that wind. It's a good day for sailing.
Okay, that's too much.
Oh.
But
Cut.
No, I'm going to say something.
Okay. He's going to say something. We
stop
got to
cutting.
record it. Go.
There's a but. We sold all our boats.
We sold all our boats.
We had 4 boats.
Last fall.
We had a Lightning.
Lippincott Lightning.
A canoe.
Laser.
A Laser 2.
A Laser 2.
Oh. And an inner club that was for winter sailing.
And an inner club, which I did not want any part of. So I don't want to sail in freezing conditions.
Yeah, they literally go out with power boats and break up the ice.
I'm not ready for all that, alright? I gotta work my way up to like Arctic sailing. Or Genesee River sailing in this case, but you get the idea. We're planning to be gone at least 5 years. We'll sort of see how it goes. But
5-year loose time frame for circumnavigation.
Yeah, there's like this weird perception to people who aren't in the sailing world. I mean, of course there are dangers to sailing, but I think because like Hollywood sort of portrays sailing as like the most dangerous, like it's always the worst conditions and you're always like putting yourself at peril. It's just very over dramatized.
And if, like in the movie Adrift, they sailed during hurricane season.
Yeah.
We're not doing that.
Yeah. I mean, you can be smart about it, and there's enough technology now that you can really, do it thoughtfully and with enough safety precautions that, you don't have to put yourself at great risk just to island hop or, do equatorial.
We saw a monarch butterfly yesterday. They fly all the way from the northeast coast all the way to Mexico.
Their incredible migration is unparalleled.
Karen Oberhauser has studied monarchs for 25 years.
They fly all the way from the northeast coast all the way to Mexico and back. And they're just a fragile little fluttery thing. Who's going to tell a butterfly, oh, don't fly to Mexico, it's dangerous there?
The migration is filled with peril. Butterfly eggs are gobbled down by ants and spiders and wasps. Most animals avoid eating the adult monarchs because they taste bad, but there are a couple types of birds that do find them palatable: the black-headed grosbeak and the black-backed oriole. Then there's bad weather. A drought or a really bad storm can decimate the monarch numbers. But perhaps the biggest threat on their journey these days is habitat destruction. And that habitat consists of milkweed.
The middle of the United States used to be one big prairie, and all of that land was suitable habitat. We now have a patchwork of cities and agricultural fields broken up by completely inappropriate habitat, which would be things like roads and parking lots.
Of course it's dangerous. It's a long journey. Life in general is it dangerous? It's dangerous to be alive.
Getting in your car is dangerous every day.
Yeah, especially here. We live in these hills in winter.
Yeah.
Black ice down frickin' Flint Hill is no joke.
Yep.
That's actually more people die in winter storms than they do in hurricanes.
True story. Look it up. If you disagree, comment below.
It's a fact. I disagree with.
There's nothing to debate. It's fact. We've had a couple of journeys along the way. So we've gone out west a few times to visit my grandparents.
There we go.
In Colorado and Phoenix, and his grandparents in Wisconsin.
Look at that prime rib. I think that should be enough meat for the four of us. Grandma's whipping up some potatoes. My sister,
his
and her
sister,
boys.
and his nephews.
I'm running in the field. I'm running in the field.
So it's important for us to stay connected with family, and we wanted to kind of have some of that in-person time with them before we left.
We pull up to, Emeryville Yacht Club or Marina, and we park next to a Lamborghini and a Maserati.
Emery Cove Yacht Harbor.
So we're here to look at a Pretorien. It's our favorite boat.
Mm-hmm. We're gonna meet with Bill. We're supposed to meet him at 2:30, and it's 12:44. So
We're a little early. We just show up in the office early.
Like almost 2 hours early?
We had an appointment, but we just showed up early and we're like, screw it, we're doing it.
Can we see it now?
And he's like, yeah, I guess you can see it now. And he was not impressed with us.
No.
I think the first thing I noticed was the gel coat had a lot of UV damage from the intense sun. It was dried out. The windows were all crazed. Yeah, those windows will probably want to be replaced. It was okay. I mean, the boat was really okay, and if California wasn't so expensive, and we loved that Bay Area, like where it's kind of an industrial part of the Bay Area, so it's just not as appealing. The other big thing is all the electronics have to be redone. Yeah. They are fried, and that's kind of a big job.
Yeah.
And chart plotters and wind indicators and depth sounders and all this stuff, it all adds up, and it's a lot of work.
Yeah. There were small things. I mean, like, we didn't love the table setup. Like, if we could get it for a low price, like, maybe it would be worth it. And it's not completely off our list.
So anyway, that boat had even more crazing in the gel coat. The windows had a little bit, not as bad, because they were replaced in 2016 or something. But man, that California sun's hard on everything.
Yeah.
The rigging was all rusty. The chain plates also were showing signs of rust.
There was oil in the bilge
Oil in the bilge.
from the engine.
The rudder post was so rusty that we could hardly turn the rudder at all.
Yeah.
So the boat would have to be hauled out, that rudder post would have to be taken out and cleaned and replaced, and there was a part of the gooseneck that had it was just swinging in the wind, and it actually ground down the gooseneck attachment.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like that.
And he had no idea about it. So it made me wonder about like what other things has he neglected and just not known about because he hasn't sailed in over 10 years.
Yeah.
The other one was the windlass, which was a plus for that boat, was completely corroded, as you can see. The bolt is just hanging on, the wire's green. I mean, it's just a mess.
Yeah.
The boat has not been taken care of. Like, what I've realized in this journey of looking for a boat, neglecting anything is hard on it. It gets traumatized. You neglect a child, you neglect a dog, you neglect a person, you neglect a house, a boat. It all just deteriorates. Entropy comes in and chews it up. So that was a no-go. So at this point, we had flown all the way out to California to look at 2 boats, and
that boat we had actually put an offer in on.
yeah, and he came in with as is, and we're like, hell no.
Countered, another $1,500 as is, and as soon as we heard as is, we were just like
no.
If we
No.
we have to have a survey, we have to have a sea trial. Otherwise it's pretty obvious that it's not saleable, and that's what we discovered, is that it was not saleable.
Yeah.
So even if we wanted to move to a marina outside of Monterey,
the idea was, if we started in California, we could at least sail the boat to a cheaper marina, which there are none, unless you go to Mexico.
Yeah.
The coastline's so rugged that the real estate for these boats is very expensive.
Yeah.
People are trying to buy this guy's boat just for the slip.
Yep.
So this is a quick little update. Here we are, we're in Meru, which is part of the St. Vincent and the Grenadines. It's several years later.
Currently it is October 2023, and we filmed the footage you saw today in, gosh, it must have been like maybe June of 2019. Wow, we've come a long way. How many thousands of miles? 6,000 plus, maybe? A lot of story in between then and now, so stay tuned.
We're gonna try to keep it a secret what boat we actually end up getting. So stay tuned to see which one we actually end up buying. We may or may have not have shown you it already. I can speak. Check us out on Instagram. There's our hash handles. Thanks for watching. Give us a like. Comment below if you like it. Give us a little bit of feedback.
And subscribe so you can get updates of all the new episodes. Get better and better as we go.
It's all part of the journey. So, is she seaworthy?
No, there be oil in the bilge.